There are moments in life when someone walks in wearing a smile, but something inside you trembles. You can't explain it. You can't point to evidence. But your spirit whispers, "Be careful." Most people ignore that whisper. They call it overthinking, fear, or insecurity. But what if that quiet warning isn't anxiety at all, but God trying to protect you from a heartbreak you don't see coming? Because sometimes the danger isn't the person who shows up as a villain. Sometimes it's the one who seems perfect, comforting, harmless, even heaven sent. And yet, something doesn't add up. Something feels off. And deep down, you know it. God often warns you long before the damage happens, but only if you're willing to listen. This message matters because so many women mistake emotional hunger for divine alignment. Countless hearts have been shattered not because God was silent, but because his warnings were drowned out by loneliness, hope, or the desire to finally feel chosen. We rush toward people who light up our fears instead of our future, and we call it connection. But God sees what we cannot: motives, intentions, spiritual danger lingering behind a charming smile. This message is for the woman who has felt confused by mixed signals, whose intuition has grown quiet under the weight of someone's presence. It's for the one who keeps giving chances to someone who only takes, who keeps apologizing when she's the one being misled. Deep down, she senses that something is wrong. Yet she keeps hoping to be proven wrong, not right. This message reaches into that quiet place where her spirit already knows the truth. Sometimes God warns a woman not through thunder, but through a tightening in her chest every time she's around the wrong person. She might smile. She might try to be polite. She might tell herself she's just imagining things, but her spirit knows. It recognizes patterns her eyes are too tired to see. God speaks through that tension, that heaviness, that quiet discomfort that rises the moment their presence enters the room. It's not paranoia, it's protection. Every woman has experienced that moment when someone's words sound right, but their actions feel wrong. They say they care, but somehow she ends up feeling smaller. They claim they're honest, but something in their tone feels rehearsed. They appear gentle, yet her peace disappears every time she talks to them. That emotional confusion is not random. It's often the first divine alarm bell. When God is trying to protect her, he doesn't allow her peace to settle around a person who isn't meant for her life. God also warns through exhaustion, not the kind that comes from life, but the kind that comes from someone draining her spirit little by little. The wrong person doesn't always break her. Sometimes they simply blur her. She stops praying the way she used to. She stops laughing the way she once did. She becomes a quieter version of herself, and she doesn't even recognize when it happened. That inner fading is a sign. God will never send someone who dims the light he placed inside her. And then there's the most subtle warning of all, the feeling that she has to earn their love. She begins over-giving, over-explaining, over-trying. She tries to fix what she didn't break, justify what she didn't cause, and hold together what was never hers to carry. When love becomes a performance, God whispers, "This is not from me." Because real love doesn't demand her spirit, it nourishes it. Real love doesn't confuse her, it anchors her. And anything that steals her identity is a sign she's walking towards someone God never sees. God's warnings are rarely loud. They come as whispers, moments of pause in the chaos, subtle hesitations that almost go unnoticed. For the woman who has followed her heart only to regret it later, these signs are God's way of saying, "Look closer, listen deeper." A knot in her stomach, a fleeting unease when words and actions don't match, or sudden exhaustion seeping into her bones. These are not coincidences, but divine nudges meant to protect her spirit from someone who would diminish it. She may have ignored them before, brushing them off as paranoia or overthinking, but the truth is that God often warns long before the evidence becomes obvious. It's in the small details, the moments others overlook, that the most important lessons appear. A glance that feels wrong, a tone that unsettles, a tiny instinct tugging at her soul. All are God speaking through her intuition, guiding her away from a path of loss and unnecessary pain. And in the stillness of reflection, she begins to see the beauty in the warnings themselves. What once felt like anxiety now feels like love, God's love, stretching across time to guard her from someone unworthy. Each subtle warning is a lifeline, urging her to pause, to observe, to choose wisely. By honoring these whispers, she discovers a profound truth. God does not merely steer her from the wrong person. He prepares her to recognize the right one, embrace love that nourishes her spirit, and walk forward with clarity, peace, and a heart aligned with His purpose. In a single quiet moment, she finally feels the weight of truth settling into her chest. Everything that once felt confusing now aligns. The tension she ignored, the unease she brushed off, the moments when her peace was stolen. She realizes with clarity that God was speaking all along, not through loud warnings, but through subtle nudges she could have trusted sooner. Every hesitation, every flicker of doubt, every instinct she tried to silence was a protective hand guiding her away from someone unworthy. As she stands there, taking it in, something shifts inside her. She no longer questions her intuition or doubts the quiet signals her spirit sends. She understands that God's warnings are a form of love, a way to guard her heart and preserve her peace. That subtle inner warning, once ignored, now becomes a guiding light, illuminating the path to clarity, freedom, and the love she was always meant to receive. She stands tall, feeling the peace she once thought was lost, realizing that every warning, every uneasy feeling, every subtle nudge from God was a sign of His love protecting her heart. The wrong people may have come, but they never had the power to define her, to steal her joy, or dim her spirit. Now she knows that God's guidance leads her not just away from what is harmful, but toward what is life-giving, toward love that nourishes her soul and honors her worth. And as she steps forward with clarity, courage, and unwavering faith, she understands the truth. Trusting God's whispers will always lead her to the right path, to the love she deserves, and to a heart fully aligned with His divine purpose. Thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. If this message resonated with you, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so we can continue sharing more guidance, encouragement, and inspiration straight to your heart. Your support helps us reach more people who need these reminders and stay connected on this journey of faith and self-discovery.